What's up, everybody? Welcome back to the First Down Saints YouTube channel. If you aren't subscribed yet and you're a Saints fan, I don't even know what your problem is. But anyways, today I want to talk about how this is a do or die year for Saints head coach Dennis Allen. And I don't even mean do or die as Saints head coach. I mean, if he fails this year and he gets fired, that's it as far as head coaching goes. It's already extremely difficult to become a head coach in the NFL, but to get a second chance like Dennis Allen has, and don't get me wrong, he absolutely deserved it. The way he turned around the Saints defense after he took over from Rob Ryan, it's just incredible. He took it from a weakness to a strong point. But back to what I was saying, for him to become a head coach for the second time and get a second chance is extremely rare. So if he messes this up this year, it's over for him as far as head coach opportunities go. Now, the reason I say that this is his last chance, is because when he was with the Raiders, he had a career record with the Raiders of 8-28. I mean, that is historically bad. That is like god awful. He never won more than 4 games in a season as the head coach of the Raiders. He went 4-12, 4-12, and then was fired in his third season after starting out 0-4. Now, he did set a career record last year with 7 wins, so I guess that's a positive. So maybe he can keep it climbing. But as of right now, like I said, that career record is it's abysmal, to be completely honest. The 2023 season will mark Dennis Allen's 5th time starting a season as a head coach. The fact that he's made it this far with his record is it's impressive, honestly. I'll give him that. When the Saints hired Dennis Allen last year, half of me was skeptical and the other half was excited, and I was eager to see what he learned from his past mistakes, how he's improved as a coach. But at the same time, I was skeptical because I watched his Raider tenure. I watched how bad it was. I see how a lot of his former employers don't speak the highest of him, when he was with the Raiders, that is. In particular, Amy Trask, who was the CEO of the Raiders at that time, and who also kind of spoke out when the Saints signed Dennis Allen to be the head coach, and basically just said that, I hoped he's learned from his mistakes, and I wish him the best. So, that wasn't a great thing to see from a former employee. But, you never know how that goes. Former coworkers, things didn't work out. There could be bad blood on both sides. So, I didn't take too much into that, but it wasn't the greatest thing to see. But yeah, back to what I was saying. The half of me that was eager to see him last year, eager to see if he grew as a coach, was disappointed, obviously. Saints went 7-10. We had the injury luck, but that happens to every team. You can't blame injuries. And to be quite honest, I personally, this is just my opinion, I attribute at least 2 losses last year to coaching. And those 2 losses, if they were wins, would have put us in the playoffs. But that's beside the point. We would have got mopped in the playoffs anyway, so that really doesn't matter. But one game in particular that just really stands out is the very last game last year against the Carolina Panthers. In that game, the defense played out of their minds. Sam Darnold was atrocious in that game, and somehow the Panthers came away with a victory. In my mind, look, if I was Mickey Loomis, DA would have been gone after that one, or after that Tampa Bay game that we led the entire game until Tom Brady in the fourth quarter. That was also unacceptable. And if you don't trust my word for it that the coaching led to losses last year, or at least was a problem last year, take Alvin Kamara's word for it. Last year he spoke up. He said, look, things just aren't right in practice. Guys are making mistakes and there's no discipline for it. So, take AK's word for it. I've never heard him criticize the coaching staff like that before. And, not to mention the level of flags and penalties. We were near the top of the league in flags committed. They did clean it up towards the end of the year, but still just an unacceptable number of penalties committed last year. And that falls back on the coaching staff, right? You got to hold guys accountable for mistakes in practice, or that's just going to translate over to games. As we've seen last year, it did. I think the whole Jameis Winston injury saga last year, how they handled his injury, how DA spoke up about it and said he was healthy when he really wasn't, that was completely unprofessional, to be honest. There's just so many other things that was disappointing last year from DA's first year with the Saints as the head coach. I hope he's turned things around. The moves they've made this offseason tell me that he really does want to win. They added a ton of wide receivers, ton of weapons, which is something Sean Payton pretty much refused to do in the past. They would always say, he likes the guys in the room, in the receiver room, when there was Kevin White and, Marquez Callaway. So I like that DA is actually making moves to try to win more games. But, we'll see if it actually translates to more wins on the field, if he can change his coaching philosophy. I don't know. We'll see. All in all, it is what it is. And I appreciate y'all watching.